Michael Falquist, CEO and founder of Viridian Energy. Welcome to the monthly rate education. So glad to have you with us today.
Great to be here, Meredith.
We are looking forward to today's session where we're going to be talking about rates and education, kind of climate and global change, but also especially the marketplace and what's going on out there. It is turbulent, but you are just coming back from our West Coast solar tour. It was great to get out of the cold and go out to see Phoenix, our friends in Phoenix, go out to Arizona, go out to California. How did that go out there?
Absolutely. Sunny California, well, the sunshine was beautiful. It's great to be launching solar states out there. I think we got a lot of excitement. Met a lot of new people. I think it's going to be a great expansion for this business.
What was it that prompted you to really want to go out there on the ground floor and really shake hands and kiss babies with all of the newest members of Generation V?
Well, I think a couple things. I think, really over the past 6 months, the volatility in our core electric business, which has been partially offset by our natural gas business, we really see as a business, the best long-term strategy for us and our associates, our business partners, is a diverse business. So we want to do everything as a company to promote products that give diversity to the business that are core to who we are and our mission as a business. So for me, solar on the West Coast, great value proposition to customers, great market for it, given obviously the climate and the sunshine. We want to do everything we can as corporate to be an enabler. We want to be that. We want to set a foundation where if you know people in those markets, we want to do everything we can to be successful for you to build a solar business in those markets.
I think my favorite thing about the event itself was really having an opportunity to connect with some really high quality people, some people that we feel are going to be the cornerstone of the solar market and really California in general, as we really look to that to be the next territory where we expand the product line. So it was just a very well timed and well appreciated, I know, on their side, but certainly beneficial trip for us as well.
It was so much fun it reminded me of that first meeting in Connecticut back in 2009. It was fun to see those rooms with 50, 100 people in them, excited, learning about the opportunity. Never really heard our corporate pitch before, never learned about the company, doing their due diligence. It was really fun to go back there and 4 years later to have so many great things that really check all those due diligence boxes off for people. So it was really exciting to be there and see sort of the birth of the company in a new marketplace for us.
But of course, we've come back to the Northeast. We've come back to some pretty chilly weather, haven't we?
It's the 3rd of March, and we're about 20 degrees below normal. If you look, we obviously spend a lot of time on weather forecasting because that's core to our business, both electric and gas. When we look out sort of the 1 to 5 day, 6 to 10 day, 11 to 15 day forecasts, we're seeing much below temperatures across all of our core markets through the first half of March. After that, we expect sort of the balance to be cold as well, but we just don't have as much certainty. So expect cold weather in our core markets for the rest of this month.
Well, we've come back from the West Coast to the East Coast, and it's very cold outside, obviously having a big impact on our customers, on our associates, and on the business at large. So I think most of the associates are feeling it, but why don't you just give us kind of a broader view of kind of some technical ways that it impacts us?
The reason we focus on weather is we're not, teaching people to be weather experts, is because weather drives our business. Increased or colder weather or warmer weather in the summer than expected drives demand. Demand drives prices. And so what's happened in our market is you basically had variable rate customers that are really a pass-through cost plus type structure have seen dramatic increases over the last 6 months. And that's created, a pretty interesting environment out there from a regulatory perspective because, Viridian, we're just one company and everybody's facing the same marketplaces. So whether you're our customer or our competitor's customer on a variable rate product, you've seen dramatic increases. And what the result of that has been is you've had regulatory, action that's sort of unprecedented in this industry because I think what makes me excited about this industry, the industry is still in sort of rapid growth phase. And it's still, I love the sports analogy. We're in the second inning of a 9-inning game. What's happening here is for the first time, you've had an inflection point in the industry where you've had, dramatic increase in prices for customers who have, become very vocal. And so in Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and New York, you've had regulators who are stepping in and trying to take some action.
I think the most important thing that we can ask our associates to do right now is to get involved, to get their customers involved, because only one side of the story is being told. We're only hearing from the people that are upset, the people that feel that they've been taken advantage of by third-party energy providers, those who are experiencing extreme swings in their energy bills. That's who's telling the story. That's who's setting the tone in the political landscape. And I think that what really is important for us right now is to challenge our associates and our customers to do something, to take action. Wouldn't you agree?
You're exactly right. You, to date, have, it's I think that old adage in any product you're marketing, you have a customer has a bad experience, tells 15 people. A customer has a good experience, tells one person, right? And that's exactly what's happening here. You've had customers who have signed up on a variable rate product, right or wrong, that's the product they bought, their price has gone up, so they're unhappy and they're telling their story, in many cases quite publicly. What we're trying to do, and this is really, I think, what defines us differently than any other energy company or any other network marketing energy company, is we're partners with our associates, right? We want you to think like business owners, so we want to educate you. When your customer calls you, or a friend asks you about what's happening, right? Because it's a very public thing. We want you to be educated. We want you to understand what's happening, what's driving it, what the future looks like, so you can answer their questions and help them understand, right, what are the benefits of deregulation.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So our focus over the next few weeks is to arm you with that information so you can have customers, because we have tens and hundreds of thousands of customers who've had a wonderful experience with this company, whether it's saving money or saving the environment or any other benefits they get from our products. They'd be happy to share the story. It's just they're not compelled to do it like the people who are having the negative experience right now.
So it's critically important for us as a company to make sure that we empower our people, when asking them especially to get out there and tell their stories. What vehicles can they take advantage of to get there? So we've done a couple of things. The first thing is we have set up My Energy, My Choice, which is a place where they can get their stories out there and they can tell about all the wonderful things about deregulation, all of the great advantages from local jobs, local impact, all of the components that they have felt over the last 2-3 years of being our customers. And so that's one of the ways. Another thing that we're doing is actually a mailer, an electronic mailer that will have a variety of resources for them, everything from kind of a sample on how to reach out to members of the local political community and get involved, as well as just training and education documents in general so that they can use them at their meetings, to talk to their associates, but also to talk to customers who might call them concerned with things that they hear in the media.
I think everybody here at corporate, me personally, and all of our associates are so proud of this company, proud of what we've built, proud of the impact we've had on the environment, proud of the impact we've had on all of our associates' lives, and everybody involved in this company. So to take this one event, which is a once in a lifetime event in these markets, and have it cast such a negative shadow on an industry that is, a great industry and changed so many lives, it's hard. So this is our opportunity through the My Choice website, is really to tell that story and get out the positive, which there is so many positive things about what we've done as a Viridian community.
So speaking of the landscape, both political and weather-wise, let's actually talk about local markets. Let's talk about it broken down by starting out with ISO New England.
ISO New England, continues to be an extremely challenging market for us in the short term. Supply side constraints, extreme cold weather has driven spot prices up and continues to drive up spot prices. I think we've talked about it in the past. Forward capacity markets in that are deficient. So over the long term, we think ISO New England is going to be a pretty challenging market for us. What we've done, though, is we've designed a year-end product, same product we've been pushing, which really provides your new customers with the most value that's out there right now. Below all the primary utilities in that marketplace, we're offering a discount today. All those utilities are resetting mid-year. On average, they went up sort of 20 to 40% at the beginning of the year. We expect them to take a good step up again mid-year. So we're offering significant value today versus those prices. We expect even more value when they take another step up going forward. So we're extremely excited about the value proposition we have in our ISO New England markets.
So I think that the volatility in the marketplace making the short-term products very, very delightful and beneficial for people, we don't want to lose sight of the fact that the long-term value proposition is something that we should also stay focused on. Wouldn't you agree?
We've always sort of put out this concept of our longer-term products. We call them good value, right? They may not be competitive with the short-term utility price today, but they're offering that customer value over time, especially in the marketplace we're facing right now, where every one of the utilities we operate in ultimately have to pass that through price on to a customer. Some utilities are slower than others because they procure over longer terms, 3 years versus 2 years. But yeah, those long-term products, we highly recommend you put your customer on it because that customer is getting a value of price certainty, protection against rising energy rates. Just recently in the gas market, we saw gas prices go over $6, which is something we haven't seen in a long time. So energy rates are going up. The incumbent utility ultimately has to pass that through on to customers.
Moving on now to PJM. One of the things that, of course, has hit the news, a lot of people are talking about, is the fact that in spite of all of our discussions and anticipation of the prices going up for the utilities, we actually saw a downturn in the New Jersey markets. So how do you explain that, and what is the best way for all the associates in those markets, really our top markets, to deal with this contradiction?
So I think a couple things I'd say is that was an article run about a recent BGS auction. Prices are not final, right? Until ultimately those utilities put out final prices, it's hard to really jump to too many conclusions. But if you do take that article as fact, one of the utilities was up, the other three were slightly down, but New Jersey procures over a 3-year period of time. And so, that is one of those markets that's just going to take longer to adjust. All I can say to associates is ultimately those utilities have to pass through those prices to customers, whether it's in the next auction cycle or even if it's not in the next, it will be, a greater impact in 2015 and 16 and 17, because ultimately it has to be in their procurement prices they charge customers.
Michael, ACE has a huge seasonal rate. Why don't you talk to us about why that's different from the other New Jersey markets and what that really means to the end user?
So ACE procures on the 3-year, but unlike the other utilities, they have a real gap between sort of the summer and winter rate that can be, several pennies different. So I think as of the last 12 months, it was sort of 9.3 in the non-summer and 11.3 in the summer. And that actually is a great segue, because in ACE, I think right now for the first time in that market, we have a great product for associates to sell. We have a 9-month product. It's going to be about 10.49 cents. And I think what's exciting about that is the original sticker shock, and this is to your point about sort of thinking longer term, although more expensive than the short term price charged by the utility, assuming ACE rates in the summer are about what they were last year, which is what that article said, there's going to be about a penny savings on average through the peak summer months for the customers who choose that product. So that 9-month product we're putting out there in ACE is a great product right now for customers.
Well, now in Illinois, it seems that we have a real disconnect between the P2C and the realities of the market. So can you talk to us a little bit about Illinois? Because I think it's leaving us all a little bit puzzled.
Oh, so Illinois. I think Illinois is a really interesting market, having come through the aggregation, having seen a rate go from 9 cents down to about 5.5 cents is the market rate. We are seeing that rate, significant pressure on that rate when it resets in June. So we think Illinois is a very attractive market for people to be selling, because today's fixed product we're selling is below the price to compare. And that price to compare is resetting June 1st. And all I can tell you is the market price is materially higher than what that current price to compare is. So we see tremendous value in Illinois for those associates selling that fixed product, because we think that rate's going to go up, and that value to that customer is going to be really substantial over the back half of that product.
Our friends in Maryland, our friends in the Mid-Atlantic, what do we have for the rest of our markets today?
In Maryland, we've seen the summer rates drop off in that market, come down a little bit. We've obviously priced our shorter-term fixed products to be below those rates, so we've got a competitive product in those markets. But again, I encourage our associates in Maryland and all of our states to really think longer term. Those products at a premium versus today's price to compare. Remember, all fundamentals in the market point that utility rates are going to go up over time. So don't necessarily think about selling your customer on that short term, because when that product renews, the market may be materially higher, and all of a sudden the value they're going to get or the price we're going to be able to offer at that time is going to be different than what they can lock in today at.
So, long-term planning.
Well, long-term planning, I think if you sort of think about the New York ISO, I think that's a great ISO to think about, because that gives us really the snapshot for consumers to understand what we're facing. Because New York ISO is a shorter-term market, where ISO New England and PJM are really long-term markets. The New York ISO is short-term. You have a daily market in Con Ed. You have monthly markets in some of the upstate markets. And so what that does, if you look at what the utility's been charging, that's really a proxy for what suppliers have been facing. I mean, Con Ed rates were up as high as over 22 cents over the past few months at points. You have Central Hudson rate that's gone up 63% since last year, because those utilities very much in real time are passing that rate on to customers. And so in that market, there's tremendous opportunity in the short term. I mean, we see utility rates that have spiked, materially. We think there's a great opportunity for customers really to sell volatility in trader speak. Sell the fact that there's a lot of price volatility, and give a customer price certainty for the next 24 months at 12.5 cents.
Irresistible.
They're absolutely irresistible. And I believe in Central Hudson, there's a nearly 9-cent rate that customer can lock in for the next 24 months. So you take that price volatility and that pain that customers are feeling, and give them a real significant value versus what they're paying if they were staying with the utility.
And because of the fact that New York is such a delightful opportunity for us right now, we are going to do something a little bit unorthodox, not traditionally what we do, but we've decided to dip our toe in the water with a promotion, a very short-term promotion, because what has become recently available in that market is some great headroom. And so we're going to launch a promotion, Money for Meters, and some of the listeners may be familiar with that, but what that really is all about is giving you a short-term stipend on customer acquisition, and so that will equal $10 for all new fixed-rate electric customers and $5 for all new natural gas fixed-rate customers in all New York markets. Tell us why you're excited about that and why that's a fabulous idea.
I love the idea. I love the promotion. I think it's focusing people and really helping our associates think long-term when they're selling the products. Right, because New York has given us a great opportunity, because they face the same dynamic we face as a business. So build your business for the long term. This incentive is going to drive that behavior.
Michael, once again, we want to thank you for your time today. Thank you for your education, for your inspiration, and for your vision. And we want to just kind of close by just really encouraging all of our associates to stay focused on Aruba, so that we can continue this conversation walking with you on the beach.
I am personally looking forward to Aruba. Thank you very much, Meredith. Appreciate it.